What's up, YouTube? Hey, it's Dale again. I know it's been far too long. It's been almost 10 months since I posted anything. And, a lot of people, or several people in the comments have asked, what happened to myself and Mike. And we're both still alive. We're both still kicking. It's just sometimes real life gets in the way of the things we had planned, and life takes different little twists and turns, and that's kind of what's happened over the last several months. I think in my last video I was actually headed up to New York to help Michael on some projects he's got going up there, which I did, and got there and we were just so busy that I did a little bit of filming, but nothing that I could make an actual video out of, so didn't do it. And it's just one of those things. But I'm back. I know Mike is working on a couple of different videos for his channel. I know things will be slowing down for him because he's moving into some different areas, and he's got a lot of stuff going on, but that's his story to tell. So once again, in the last video that I did, I kind of showed the inside of the box truck, which is where I'm at now. Unfortunately, while I did get quite a bit done, the box truck is still not done. And as many of you know, I'm not a full-timer, so it's not that urgent that I get things done. And it's one of those, hey, when I feel like doing it, I do it. If I don't, I don't. So right now, the box truck's sitting here in my side yard. Technically, the batteries are dead on it. It won't start. And people say, well, how are you going to travel? This year, I am still going back up to New York to help Mike on the projects that he's got going on. But I'll just be taking my regular pickup truck with me this time, because as you'll see here in a minute, when we get outside, the Slacker bus, which is ready to travel, isn't really here. And that's because it's already in New York State on Mike's property, because this past year when he came down to go to the Daytona 500, which his family has done for the last 6 or 7 years using Navi, well, Navi is unfortunately not roadworthy at this point, and that's one of the projects we'll be working on a little bit. But anyway, so we took the Slacker bus to the Daytona 500, and what we did was decided, hey Mike, why don't you just drive the bus back to New York, have it sit there, so that when I get up there in hopefully the end of May, first part of June, it'll already be there and I don't have to worry about driving it. Because what I've really decided is, while I love the bill on the bus, I don't like driving the bus. It's slow, and with the box truck, if I'm using it, I've got AC, I've got cruise control, I've got the whole build out. With the bus, you have a open window and a fan and a 60-mile-an-hour speed limit. So anyway, let me get the camera turned around here, show you a little bit about what's going on in the interior of the box truck, and then we'll step outside, because that's where the real action is going on at the present time. So let me do that, and we'll try to get started. All right, well, that's great. As you can see, I got the countertops put in. They, sanded, all that good stuff. Got the stove in. Now the stove, the only problem with it is the upper burners work fine. The burner in the oven itself, I believe, has the wrong jet in it, so that needs to be changed out. And I do actually have a whole new set of jets for the stove, so I will get that in eventually. Then we just come on around here. Basically, the only thing not finished in here right now would be this back wall, which I just didn't have time to really get finished up, and it's not, there again, not really that important that it needs to be finished up, but it will get finished up. That door, it was a beautiful door The problem is with it being on the outside like that, as you can see on the edges, it is starting to warp just a little bit. So at some point, while I was hoping not to have to do it, I'm going to have to figure out a different door for the back again. And then once again, you know, here's the bed, the underneath the bed. Then you come around here, got the refrigerator. I actually found this lamp at a thrift store in New York and kind of liked it, so I kind of reworked it a little bit and mounted it up there, and it, you know, turns on. And then, you know, there again, got all, you know, the ceiling all put in, most of the trim put up. Like I say, it's basically right back there is the problem area. So let's step outside, come out here, we'll show you what's going on. So we step outside, the first thing you're going to see is another bus sitting here. This is not my bus. This is actually a friend of mine. And right now, she doesn't have any place to park it. So I told her, hey, bring it over here and you can park it for pretty much as long as you need to. She's trying to decide whether she's going to try to sell it or fix it up and do what she's got to do. But that's that. As you pan around here, you go, well, what's all these supplies and why is there a trailer here and another trailer over there? And the reason is the house itself is getting a major facelift. You come over here, you can kind of see on the back that the soffits and fascia are being replaced. You can see up here, that'll all be done eventually, you know. And then all of this yellow vinyl siding on here will be replaced with the board. I can't remember now. All of a sudden, I can't. The name of this board escapes me, but it'll be that board, and then it'll all be painted. As you can see, it's Saturday, so there's nobody actually working on it right now. But we walk around here. This will all be, you know, redone. And you get over into here, and as you can tell, I've got most of this all ripped out. This is, if you look back on some of my other videos, this was just a brown T111 that I had up here. That'll all be replaced with the board. So with this, actually, I'm going to put in a new door on the front of the house. This is probably an original door, so it's 50 years old and just kind of nasty at this point. We walk over here and you can kind of see that, yes, this is a little messy, but that's because there again, we have to move things around as we work or as he works because got nowhere else to put things. In this area here, there'll be 4 new posts because if you look down here, the one post that is actually holding part of the roof up, or is supposed to, is actually rusted out. So this will get new post all the way down through it. And then I'm probably going to use some more of that board and actually build a wall here, which is pretty much what I did on the other side over there originally, where that wall and cabinets are. That was an open area, and I just built a wall so that it, you know, things are protected. By putting a wall back on this side, this will actually give me a little bit more privacy. If anything coming down the road won't be able to look in here and, you know, see what I've got. All this, never had any problem with theft or anything like that in this area. Everybody's pretty cool. There again, you know, you just kind of look around. I've got all kind of things going on. There's the Blackstone. We actually, when we went to the Daytona 500 with Mike, we actually, instead of taking the redneck smoker that we built the year before to the Daytona 500, because of the space limitations, I actually went and bought another smoker. This is just an electric smoker. Works really good. In fact, sometime this afternoon I'll be putting some jalapeno poppers in there and making that. There again, this is all, this will all have new boards up there. Probably going to try to install some lights in the ceiling so that the lighting situation out here, if I'm trying to work either during the day or at night, is a little bit better. Obviously, some of these tools are mine, some of them aren't. Some of them are the gentleman doing the work for me. And there again, we come around here a little bit and you kind of see what it will look like. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but like there again, this has all got to be caulked and trim finished out. And he'll be putting, I think he said he paints it 2 coats of whatever color we decide. So be doing that. And I don't think there's a whole lot else to really say other than I apologize to those of you that enjoy my channel, and I actually apologize to myself because I don't know whether I said it in this video already, but I actually started my channel more as a personal record so that 20 years from now, if my grandkids want to go, hey, what was Grandpa D doing in his old age, they'd have some kind of record. Like I said, when I went to up north last year, helped Mike, we actually went with 3 of his college roommates up into Canada, Nova Scotia, for a week. That was a great trip, had a lot of fun. It was a little short, and I hope to at some point be able to go back and maybe stay for 2 or 3 weeks, because there's a lot to see up there. That's beautiful country. There again, like I say, Mike's still alive and well, but that's his story to tell, so I'm going to kind of leave it at that. If you're really interested and curious, I know he's probably going to get mad that I say this, but he does have a Patreon link on his page. I think at this point you can actually join Patreon for nothing, and he does do a Zoom meeting live stream with whoever shows up pretty much the second Tuesday of every month, starting at about 7:30. Usually runs to about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock sometimes. Let me get this turned back around. See, anyway, so that's pretty much what's going on. There again, I'm leaning on this because, as some of you will remember, it seems like every year that I go up to the Great White North there in New York State, something in the Adirondacks tries to take me out. Well, this past year it wasn't cellulitis, it was my right knee, and right now I'm hobbling around, limping around. Doctor says, hey, that's what happens when you get old and have arthritis. So I am currently doing physical therapy on that, debating on whether I should even try a cortisone shot. One in the knee does not sound that inviting, and so I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but whatever happens. I get to New York, Mike's already making a list of jobs that I can do sitting down, so we're still going to be busy, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, maybe here in a couple of weeks I'm going to try to start posting a little bit more, even though it's not really bus and van related, just to, if nothing else, to kind of come back and show everybody the progress on the house. I think it's going to be really nice when things get all finished, and you can see that this house has had several different incarnations of the exterior. I mean, there's some faux brick there, there's some, excuse my language, but baby poop yellow, I guess is what you'd call that color that was on the wall at some point. Anyway, as always, stay safe, have fun, and whatever project you got going on, keep up with it. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.